Hello! Welcome to Wellness for Wealth TV, Life Strategies with Nat. I am your host, Natalia, aka Nat. I'm here with you gorgeous, entrepreneurial, high-achieving women, you souls, all of you gorgeous people. And I'm here every Tuesday at 6:30 talking to you about giving you strategies that you can use in your pursuit of greater wellness, wealth, and life fulfillment. So as you're logging in, let me know you're here. Give me a hello, give me a hashtag live. And as you are kind of coming on, let me know how you're doing. Are you feeling great? Are you feeling lost? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling, dazed and confused? Let me know how you're feeling so that I can kind of tweak the conversation as we go, because you guys know me. I love being interactive with you guys. And let me know where you're calling in from before we get going. As you guys are logging on and saying hello and stuff. Hey, Sakshi. So as you guys are logging on, let me share with you, I had the greatest run this morning. So they finished this bridge just kind of down the street. And they've been working on it for months, like even when I moved in the area, like last September. And it was just so great. Like I was able to go in a totally different place, totally different way. I don't normally go that way. And I'm curious, do you guys use Strava or let me know if you guys are runners or cyclists. Just let me know in the comments. But do you guys use Strava? It's an app, or like Map My Run or Map My Walk or any of those ones. Hey, Janice. Not affiliated or anything, but they're just these great applications where you can track, where you ran or where you cycled. And the thing that I loved about it was that since I got this app like 2 days ago, I've actually been pushing myself way harder because, you have this it's just such a drive when you can track your progress. So those are two key success habits right there that we're starting off with. Track your progress. The only one you're competing with is yourself. But when you track your progress, you can really feel happy about what you're doing, where you're going. And exercise daily, No Mojo, lost somewhere. Can't find it anywhere. Okay, we're gonna find it, Janice. So I also wanted to mention before we dive in, I was really excited to be on this podcast on the Avenue with Tina Willen today. And we were talking about mindset and marketing. So if you're in that kind of boat, definitely go check it out. I'll have the link somewhere in my post today. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how we can find our mojo. And we're here to talk about, and for those of you that are like, what's mojo? It's like your energy, it's like your spark, it's like that thing that, gets you motivated and excited about life. Like, can't really explain it. It's that joie de vivre, like that je ne sais quoi, that thing inside us that we can't, it's just there or it's not there. And I'm going to talk to you today about 5 reasons why it might be gone. So, the 5 reasons. So we're going to start with the first one, which is you don't know yourself well enough. Now take a minute there, because I remember when I first came across this, I was like, because a couple years ago, I totally lost my mojo. I was super unmotivated. I was super tired. I didn't want to do anything but just go to work, come home, nothing. Motivation gone. Help me find it, please. Okay. So you can be whoever you want to be by letting go of the things and letting go of who you are today, which is basically the product of everything that has gotten us here today. So I always say this in the first step of my Make It Happen success system. If you got to know where you've been before you know where you're going. You have to know, what is it? What are the experiences? What have you experienced in your life that has gotten you to this point? Because somewhere in there is this secret that is going to just like pop out to you, and it's going to say, oh, I learned that limiting belief when I did X. Or, oh, I learned that habit when I was a kid. And the thing is that when you start to know at a deeper level who you are, you start to recognize the things, the people that no longer serve you, and and what you need to let go of. And that's when real change and transformation happens. You need to, like, if you think about you as being the product of your experiences right now, everything you've learned, we all come into this world completely brand new. We learn the habits, we learn how to think, we learn sometimes what to think, we learn our belief system, we learn our habits, we learn our behavior. Everything that we are in control of, we've learned somewhere, somehow along the way. And this is more than just like, oh, what's my favorite color or what's my favorite food? You gotta get, like, when's the last time you checked in with your values? What really matters to you? Your values are a huge help to you in decision making, in the path that you take. And everything starts with self-awareness. Everything. If you know your strengths, your weaknesses, your belief system, your value system, your life can totally change in the direction that you want it to go in, because you're so much more aware of who you are and what matters most to you and what is no longer serving you, right? And if you don't know yourself, this is where you can start to feel lost, or in this state of this constant state of, who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? What's my purpose? So if you find yourself asking yourself those questions a lot on a repeated basis, then, start to do some self-awareness stuff. And there's lots of things you can do in terms of journaling questions. There's on Pinterest, on my Pinterest board especially, I've got lots of self-awareness questions to ask. And again, I put it in my success system as well. But just knowing that, I'm hoping is going to help you or give you potentially a clue as to why you've lost your mojo. That's just one reason. So the second reason is that you don't really know what you want. You don't really have a super clear vision of what you really want. And I'm not just talking oh, I want a big house, and oh, I want to earn $1 million or whatever it is. I want to earn $50,000, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be in the millions. A vision is completely personal, and it's completely individual. And what my dreams are not what your dreams are. So what is it? And you guys know, if you guys have been following me, I say this a lot. Vision is the destination, strategy is the pathway there, but you are the key to making it happen. So if you don't know what you want, what you really want, then you don't know where you're going. And, just like just like when you're getting into your car and you're going somewhere, you have a starting point and you have a destination point. And your GPS will figure out how to get there. That's your strategy piece. But it's always you can have a flat tire, you can hit a blocked road where you have to turn back, but the destination is always the same. It's always crystal clear on where it is you're going. So you need to get super, super clear on that. And it's not just about getting clear on the vision, because that's the starting point. The vision is the destination, and now you have to figure out, okay, how am I going to get there? What are some SMART goals? Specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, timely. I talked about measurable today in terms of like tracking your progress. You know, when I was talking, and if you're just logging in now, you might have missed it, but I was talking about how I had the greatest run today because I started using this app called Strava. My partner uses it to track his cycling routes, and he's always looking at, oh, I beat my personal record yesterday. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, I kind of need that push. I need that motivation. So when you track your progress, when you create goals that are specific, when you're measuring that success, when you know it's attainable and you have the skills to do it and it's relevant, meaning it fits in with your bigger picture, your vision, and it's timely, then you're well on your way to achieving that mission. Yes, the mission, but also going towards your destination. And your vision can change. It's not like it has to be written in stone, but it has to be really, really clear. So if you're feeling like, oh, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, that's really demotivating. It's like, leaving your house and not knowing where you're going. You always need to know where you're going. The third reason is you don't have good habits. Jim Rohn says discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. I love that because it's so true, like how many of us, or you can have two people, right? There are two people, there's lots of studies done even on twins, but like let's say you have two people, one of them they both have the exact same experience, the exact same, but one has like a positive outlook and one has a negative outlook. One doesn't mind waiting in line, and the other like loses his marbles because he's so impatient. It's all about outlook, it's all about perspective. But when I study successful people, they always talk about their habits. Always. It's always about, well, these are my success habits. And yeah, you have people that are like, I wake up at 4:00 in the morning. I don't wake up at 4:00 in the morning. And I'm okay with that. But, if that's what it's going to take for you, kind of goes back to the first reason. You don't know yourself well enough. Because you have to, it's not about the doing, it's about the being here. So, because the reason why successful people always talk about their success habits is because they know who they are, they know their vision like crystal clear, and they have smart goals, they have goals that they're working towards. If you want to be fit, well, you gotta exercise, you gotta eat well. I'm not saying you have to go on this crazy diet, but you have to discipline yourself not to go for that second piece of cake or whatever it is. Usually our triggers, or usually we know what we need to stop doing, right? Like we know that stuff, but it's just, why don't we do it? And that comes back to the being, right? You got to be the person and have this constant reminder of like, that's what I'm working towards. These are my goals. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to run a successful business, you better get really good at failing, right? You got to get really good at planning, and you got to get really good at goal setting. If you want to be an effective leader, you want to, read daily. You want to, you want to value importance over urgency, and you want to focus on what matters most. I got those 3 from Stephen Covey, who wrote 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you haven't read that book, totally go read that book, because it's just got some really great. It's just one of my go-tos personally, and I refer to it all the time with my clients and my peers. But it's so easy to say that we want something, but it's entirely different to actually do it, to actually have the discipline. And remember, it's the being, it's not the doing, right? And again, that ties back to that first reason, not knowing yourself well enough. So the fourth reason, and let me know if any of these are resonating with you. I'm going to ask you at the end as well, but I'm just really curious how these are resonating with you. Like Janice, is any of this kind of, oh, okay, that could be where I'm feeling unmotivated. Or anyone that's listening in. And I'd love you to be just as vulnerable with me as I am with you, because that's how we grow. And if you don't know about vulnerability, listen to Brene Brown. Like, she is the queen. I love her work. Anyway, I'm digressing. But let me be clear here. You are the only person standing in your way right now. Okay? You are the only person standing in your way right now. It has nothing to do with time. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with, your neighbor who's too loud. It has nothing to do with any of that. It is all on you. And that can be really hard for people to hear sometimes. I know that used to be really hard for me. I used to get really defensive. I used to take things very personally. And I had a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-doubt that I had to work on and really dissect and figure out, where is that block? Like, where is that coming from? And I heard this the other day, the obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. And I really like that, and I'll tell you why for in a minute. Every excuse that you're coming up with can be tied to a limiting belief or a fear of some kind. When he's saying the obstacle is the way, it was Stephen Larson who was doing this training. And if let's say if your obstacle is motivation or being unmotivated, then you got to get motivated. What motivates you? What lights you up? What can you do to get yourself in that state of being where you're like, yeah, let's do it. And even if I don't want to do it, I'm going to do it because I got this vision that's so clear and I got this goal that I'm working towards. And, maybe going back to number 3, which is habits. Like, what are you eating these days? Are you moving around? Like, I know that a lot of us, especially during the last several weeks, we haven't been able to go out. We haven't been able to move around. We've been eating tons. And, that's what it was. And we gotta snap out of it. And we gotta say, you know what, today's the day. I'm gonna make a choice to take a chance and I'm gonna change my life right here, right now. That's on you. You gotta decide mentally, physically, I'm in it to win it right now. And, you gotta be clear. And if it's not like, the obstacle is the way, if the work is the obstacle, well, what can you do to change your work? What else can you be doing? Number 5. So this is the last reason I'm going to talk about. You put everyone else first. The quickest way to losing your mojo, to losing your spark, is to put everyone else first. This is, what you're really saying subconsciously to yourself is that you don't really matter. It's like, are you really not that important? Is everyone else really that much more important than you? Everyone, including your family. If you have kids, don't use them as an excuse, because they need you to be at your best peak state all the time, every day. And yeah, some days are really difficult. And I'm not saying you have to be this like happy-go-lucky person. That's not what being positive is about. I'm a huge believer of listening to your emotions, respecting your emotions, processing your feelings. if you're not feeling good, you got to figure out why. You can't just like shove that down and be like, oh, I'll deal with that later. No. If you're not feeling motivated right now, you got to face that, and you got to really ask yourself some tough questions. Why am I feeling unmotivated? What is triggering me to feel like that? Is it because I'm not doing what I love? Is it because I'm stuck in a job that I don't want to be doing anymore? Is it because I haven't talked to anybody in forever? Is it because, the whole, you got to really figure out what your triggers are to your emotions. Your emotions are so key. Your feelings are so key. They're your guide. They will guide you, and they are not meant to be ignored. Do not ignore your feelings. Do not ignore this feeling that you're feeling unmotivated, or you're feeling like you lost your mojo, or you're feeling lost. Go at it. What is triggering you to feel that way? Putting yourself first plays a huge role in your self-worth. It plays a huge role in your confidence, because when you don't put yourself first, like I said, you're sending yourself a message that you are not worth it, that you don't matter. That is, no, like that, stop. You got to put yourself first, and that's not being selfish. I hear that a lot. Oh, that's really selfish. I can't do that. Yes, you can, and you must, and you will. You got to put yourself first. You got to put your own oxygen mask on first. You have to fill your cup, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. I know I'm not telling you guys anything that you haven't heard of before, but I really want you to hear it. I really want you to hear and be like, okay, Nat, I'm listening. I'm hearing you. It's time. So tell me in the comments. I want you to write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or any combination, or all of them. It does not matter. I really want to understand and hear in your comments where you're at right now. Because when we know where we're at, then we can have the starting point. We're like, okay, this is where I'm at. Now I can move forward. So number 1, do you know yourself well enough? Number 2, do you really know what you want? Is it so super clear in your mind? Number 3, do you have good habits? And then number 4, do you have belief in yourself? Do you accept yourself for everything and anything and all the wonderful amazingness, awesomeness that you are? Number 5, do you put yourself first? So I'm going to give you like a couple minutes, not a couple minutes, because you don't have that kind of time. But 1, you don't know yourself well enough. 2, you don't really know what you want. 3, you don't have good habits. 4, you don't believe in yourself, or you don't accept yourself for all that you are. And 5, you don't put yourself first. Sakshi, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Yes. Yes. And this is a lifelong journey. I'm not saying, this is like going to solve everything. This is a lifelong journey, especially number 1, getting to know yourself. We evolve, that's why our feelings are such great guides for us. Number 4. Okay. So if it's the belief, it's the acceptance. There's a lot of, what is triggering that? What is triggering the lack of confidence? Because you're going to be in this scarcity mindset, and we don't want to be there. We want to be in this abundant mindset where we have the confidence. We have, and a lot of it comes from limiting beliefs. Things like, I don't feel like I can do it. I don't have the knowledge to do it. I don't have the ability. Yes, you do. You have everything that you need to know right now. You are exactly where you need to be. And this is like the perfect opportunity to say, okay, what is my vision? What are my goals? What are the skills that I need? What are the skills that I have? And what is the gap there? So, I was telling you guys, there was a time when I faced all of these, every single one of them. And you know what happened? I faced them all and then some. Don't accept it and disagree with myself and get stressed. Don't accept what exactly? What is it exactly? And I get okay, so if you're having this inner dialogue with yourself, you need to make friends with your inner voice. You want to say, thank you. Thank you for bringing this up for me. And why are you bringing this up to me? Let me start to dig a bit deeper. Take the stress away, take the pressure away. I know it's easier said than done, but just do it. Accept it. And maybe we'll have a conversation after, Janice, but make friends with your inner voice, because your inner voice is your best friend. They're just looking out for you, but you are in charge, okay? Not your inner voice. They're just there to be like, ooh, are you sure? It's like our brain is still millions of years old. It's still stuck in the, oh my God, there's a saber-toothed tiger coming after me. But now it's like, oh my God, I'm starting a new business and I'm freaking out. And that's the reality. There's no saber-toothed tigers. Your body, your brain is just there to help guide you, to help you through life. But if you let your fears take over, then you're going to be stuck. You're going to lose your mojo. You got to try and figure out, where is that fear coming from? Is it something that happened to me like way long ago? I'll give you an example, a personal example. Way back when I was a kid, I went around and I was selling chocolates for Christmas. And I had this form, and I went around to all my neighbors and I collected money and everything. And I submitted the form late. They wouldn't let me put the orders in. And I remember I was hanging on to that memory for such a long time. And I only recently found it again. And I said, you know what? Thanks for holding on to this, but I don't need you anymore. I don't need this memory. Cancel, clear, delete. And I'm going to choose to bring in a different belief, a belief that yes, I can. That yes, I can serve my clients. That yes, I don't need, there's no like forms that are going to come and haunt me. It's fine. And maybe you guys can relate to that or not, but I'm just saying that there are memories, there are experiences that we have in our past that are resulting into what we believe to be real and true. And they're just beliefs. They're just beliefs. They're just, reconnect with your values and believe. And the beauty of it all is that it can be changed. You don't have to believe that anymore. You can choose what to believe. You can choose what to think. You can choose how to behave. It's all in your power. You just have to find it. Hey, Diana. You just have to find it. So, Diana, you're catching the end of it. Go back and listen to the beginning, but I'm just teasing. But we talked about a lot. We talked about the 5 reasons you lost your mojo, which is you don't know yourself well enough, you're not clear on where your vision is, you don't have good habits, you don't have belief in yourself, you don't have confidence in yourself, and number 5 is, you don't put yourself first. Okay, so as I was saying, I faced all of these, and what happened? I created my Make It Happen success system. I created my 6-month mentorship program because I wanted to help people that were feeling like this to go from lost to found, to go from disenchanted to engaged, to go from unmotivated to unstoppable. And I'll give you the tools, I'll give you the training, I'll give you the skills, I'll give you the exercises, I'll give you the resources, I'll give you the coaching. I will give you anything and everything that I have done to this point to help you get your mojo back, so that you can really start making the life that you say you want. Because when you're at that point, you will be unstoppable. At the end of it, you will be unstoppable. You will know yourself like you've never known yourself before. You'll have such a clear vision that your fears will become irrelevant. You'll have the success habits in place, the ones that you've been trying to, implement for the last several years. And you'll have the confidence and the belief in yourself to make it happen. And you will love yourself so much more than you ever have before. And you will become that person that you need to be in order to do the things, to have all of it that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a link and you can apply for the mentorship. And what I want you to do is I want you to fill out that application and then wait for me to arrange a call with you. That's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to get your mojo back. You can do it on your own. I'm not saying you can't. But when you have someone there that's been through it, that literally has gone from so unmotivated, worst habits ever, to here I am. I'm living proof. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time because I think we've been over half an hour here. I'd love to stay and talk with you all day. You guys know that I do. And I will see you here next week, Tuesday, 6:30 Spanish time in the evening. And until then, be safe, be well, and love you lots. Bye.